Good evening.
Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Teresa. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Ann.
Hi, Ann.
Hi, Andy. Did you get a haircut, Andy?
But once they get their
Looks
mindset,
good.
it's hard to change somebody like that.
Thanks. Okay.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm here.
Take people in there and they could put a little extra work.
Hi, Allison.
Hi.
Next time they'll want to get a nicer place later on.
Nice to see you.
Are we waiting on Tamika? We're popular tonight.
Here. Andy, I'm here.
Great.
I was here. I saw Danielle get in. I've been here a while. So.
Yeah, and although I wait for Ben, I think that Ben has a conflict tonight, and he's going to try to make it, but we can probably go without him. So
I was wondering why we're so popular tonight.
I don't think it's us.
I don't either. It's just popularity. Wow.
79 isn't well, now it's 80.
Danielle, it is you.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's the school board babies.
These guys?
Yes.
The first? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm just letting everybody know I'm kind of under the weather, so I look a hot mess. I'm just letting you know. I was trying to stop you from looking, but oh, I feel like, oh. Here we go. Ready? Here we go.
You look great.
Okay.
I
Well.
feel like, oh,
I suppose that we've got everyone in here, so I'll give it another moment, but I think we got everyone, so I can call the meeting to order if no one has any objections. I will give another 30 seconds just to make sure.
why do we have a hand
And
raised?
Ben is
already?
here.
Does somebody have their hand raised? I can't move my screen.
Trina does.
Someone does, and now someone doesn't.
Oh, no, I was just wondering if they wouldn't let me move my screen around to put people in certain so I can see the board. Oh, I can't find. Where is Molly? I try to put the board on my first screen.
Didn't know you could do that.
How do you do that?
Just go on the whatever their face is and move it.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
Click and drag?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
sorry,
does.
Andy.
Yeah, click and just drag it to where you need it to be.
Thank you.
Dr. Moser, what do you think? Can we get the party started?
I think it'd be very appropriate to get this party started at 6:34, I believe. So
Yes, it is. Then I'm going to call the meeting to order, and I'm going to ask to do a roll call. Molly Krychowiak,
Here.
Tamika Vukovic,
Where?
Danielle Bailey,
Here.
Andrew Franklin is here, and is Teresa Seam present?
I am.
Welcome, and we have a quorum, and for those of you who don't know, this is Ms. Seam's last regular scheduled board meeting. So we are happy that we have Ben Wynn coming on, but I'm just going to get the accolades started early. We're going to miss Ms. Seam greatly. So we have a quorum, so that's item 1B. Item number 2A is consideration of the consent agenda.
So moved. Tamika.
Well, hold on, 2A is into approval of the consent agenda.
Yes.
And I typically have read through these things summarily, so if there is a motion and an approval, I'll still read through them before we take a vote. So
All right.
Danielle moved. Is there a second?
Tamika moved. I will second.
I
Danielle.
apologize. I
Okay.
misstated that. Then I'm going to ask if there's any discussion. If not, the items on consideration of the consent agenda are agenda approval, approval of minutes, approval of financials, approval of administrative resignation, approval of associate principal position, approval of teacher resignation, approval of teacher resignation, approval of behavioral specialist resignation, approval of literacy coach resignation, approval of first grade long-term substitute, approval of associate principal compensation, approval of paraprofessionals, and approval of paraprofessionals. So is there any discussion on any of those items? Seeing none, I will do a roll call vote. All in favor of approving the agenda in accordance with the motion. Molly Krychowiak,
Aye.
Tamika Vukovic,
Aye.
and then Danielle Bailey,
Aye.
Teresa Seam,
Aye.
Andrew Franklin votes aye. The motion carries. Item number 3A, reports. Reopening update and data report from the North Shore Health Department.
President Franklin, if I may step in here at this point. President Franklin, members of the school board, this evening, Ms. Jenica Westfall is going to step in and present the reopening update and data reports from the North Shore Health Department. So if I may, I'd like to call upon Ms. Westfall to share her report.
Please do.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Dr. Moser and board. Karen, could I share my screen? Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is a very familiar slideshow for everyone who's been joining us at our school board meeting. So this is our report. So I'm going to get started right away. So the guidelines for the school decision making, again, is the COVID-19 burden, the COVID-19 cases, that 14-day trend, the percent positivity, and then the care rate as well. So in all this data that's been being presented here is directly from the North Shore Health Department, and it's the most recent report dated April 16th, 2021. So right now, our COVID-19 burden is right now moderately high for our cases. So you can see that the Glendale total, the total in North Shore is currently high. Again, we're moderately high. So this is based off of that 14-day period computed against the 100,000 population. And our trends right now are trending down for the COVID-19 cases. So we had 2 cases over the past week. So this is the data from April 2nd through April 15th. So it's that 2-week total. Right here, this is of interest. This is the test percent positive. So if we look under Glendale, we're at a 3.5% currently. And you can see the other districts as well, or I should say areas. And then also on the other side is the percent positive by the age ranges. So you can kind of see there's a little difference there. So we are still below the 5% for the overall for Glendale test percent positive. If we look at the burden rate by age group in Glendale, you can see that, you know, we have a couple high areas when we're looking at our student population, and then a couple of high areas as well, the 18 to 34 areas. So when we think about the care piece to all of this, we are improving with our care piece, and this has been a trend. So it's still improving. And then this is our metrics that we utilize for looking at our reopening or staying open. So currently we are here at 70 in our burden rate. So that's the moderately high or the orange level. We are in green for new cases, positivity, and for care. So in this report right here, this piece is for since we reopened. So starting at 3/5 through 4/16. This is the metrics that we utilize when thinking about whether or not we need to make any sort of changes in our instructional models. And currently we are in green and yellow areas. We're meeting criteria. So we are going to stay on path with exactly what we're doing right now with our mitigation strategies, social distancing, mask wearing, and all of those pieces that we have currently in place. So when looking at our data as a school district, we currently have 1 active staff case. And this is the case is from a at-home situation, and then also a student quarantine case, which was not a school-related case. It was a home quarantine case. We just completed on April 9th our 2nd round of vaccines. So that was a huge celebration for all of those who came, and many of our staff members have, received vaccines in other avenues as well, but this was a great opportunity for employees of the district to participate in. And that means that this Friday, staff members who participated in our vaccination clinic in the district will be fully vaccinated this Friday. So that's a huge celebration. So very thankful for that. And then if any members of the board or anybody has any questions about what was covered, I'd be happy to answer what I can.
Jenica, I'm just curious if we have a total number of how many utilized our vaccine clinic, how much of our staff did.
Shannon would have the percentages on that based off of her sign up.
I can follow up with her. It's not, just curious.
Terrific. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, well then, we are going to move on to our next item, which is number 4A, discussion and possible approval of superintendent in the Glendale-River Hills School District. Dr. Moser, would you like me to take the lead?
Yes, please, would you?
Thank you. Board members are aware that we have a negotiated contract that I sent to them. Because we didn't have executive session, we weren't able to talk about those details. If we take action today, that's wonderful. But at the very least, I would like to make an introduction. And here goes. So it was not long ago that we embarked on a journey to find a leader for the next chapter in our district. And after a selection process that began last fall, the Glendale-River Hills School District tonight announces our next superintendent. Our process was long and thorough. Over 40 candidates were screened by our search firm, Ray and Associates, who really helped the process unfold and move along. I met with them every week for 3 months, and their process was a truly collaborative affair. They led a process that invited community input to paint a full picture of our district and our priorities. And it was from that our community and teachers were able to focus our goals and shape the questions we would ask and the answers we sought. And so I thank you, community and teachers as well. Monday night, in our last round of interviews, we brought it back to the community and staff to participate once again and tell us what they thought. And I can tell all of you tonight that from that process, there was one clear choice. Your comments underscore that the candidate we promote tonight demonstrated an uncanny ability to relate to the staff and the community. Our choice shared a personal story that was moving and demonstrated a commitment to equity, student achievement, and social and emotional learning. The board was likewise moved. We have every confidence that our new superintendent will have the motivation and the skills to promote inclusion, build relationships, and manage our district. Our next district leader comes to us with over 20 years of experience in K-12 education, from teacher to superintendent. With no further ado, I would like to introduce to our community Ms. Allison Eisch.
Wow, that was pretty amazing. Thank you. I think I'm feeling just about as excited, hopefully, as everybody in this room is. Thank you for that amazing introduction. I just can't wait to get into the district and start talking to people and start meeting people and continuing to tell my story. I know that Tamika wants to hear some more of my story. Meeting teachers, meeting principals, meeting staff. I'm really excited. I'm honored to have been chosen for this position. I know when I wrote my first app, I started working on my application. I realized it could sound a little bit cheesy, but I remember writing that I just really felt like all of my life experiences, personally and professionally, were leading me to a spot just like you guys. So I'm really excited to take that experience and take my excitement and passion. And I'm hoping that everybody else will be ready to jump on board with me and, and move this train forward, because there's some amazing things going on here. And I'm just really looking forward to building relationships and getting to know everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Board, I don't know if you have any questions, any discussion, or anything else that you would like to do tonight. There's no pressure. I think everything is favorable, but if the board wants to take action tonight, that would be wonderful as well.
I think you're muted, Teresa.
I would like to recommend approval of our new superintendent, Allison Eisch, beginning July 1, 2021. Welcome, Doc. I keep calling you doctor. I apologize. That's a little, I'm putting the cart before the horse there. Good luck with that, by the way. Recommend approval of our new superintendent, Ms. Allison Eisch, starting July 1, 2021. Welcome. I know we made the right decision. We went through a lot of candidates. Your cream rose to the top. Welcome.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
I will second.
Wonderful. Is there any discussion?
Of course, there's going to be discussion. I just want to start off by saying welcome. Possibly we still have to vote, but I was very moved by your experience, by your story, by your understanding of our teachers as well as our community and our board. We're kind of scary sometimes, but you just seem to just kind of smile us over and really do some great work. I welcome you very much. And the one thing that I really loved about the stuff that you said was the strategic planning portion of your information. And I am really ready to do some strategic planning, both district and building wise, and make this, the greatest, make this district an example of what people want to do in a district. So precursor, welcome.
I would second that welcome. I'm really excited to get to work with you. I really appreciated your honesty, your forthrightness, your communication style. And I think that's something our district will really benefit from. And so we're gonna, keep that. Communication is always at the forefront of my mind, along with equity. And I think those are two things that you also care about and have, experience in. So I'm just really excited to, like Tamika, get to work, dig in, and keep it moving. So welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for signing on with us, Allison. I'm looking forward to working with you.
Wonderful. Okay, if there's no further discussion, I don't know if Dr. Moser wants to chime in, but I am ready to do a voice vote. And it's just going to be a voice vote. It's not going to be a roll vote. All in favor of the contract to appoint Allison Eich, our new superintendent, please say aye.
Aye.
Hardy, aye.
And that was very unanimous. And I'll just confirm, are there any nays? I hear none. The motion happily carries. Welcome and congratulations. And congratulations, district, as well. Thank you to everyone who took part in this.
And if you see, there's some people that are definitely taking their videos off just so you can see that they are excited about what you're getting ready to do in the district. Got a thumbs up from Nicolay, so you definitely know that you're okay.
Yeah, you brought in our district administrator from Nicolay, I saw, not to point him out, but Dr. Kabar is here, so a pleasure to see you. All right, then. I guess we have to move along to other new business. Thank you. Okay, item 4B, recommend the approval of the auditor for the special education audit.
President Franklin, members of the school board.
Yes.
I am pleased to present to you this evening the recommendation of the school board curriculum committee and myself to appoint Ms. Ellen Fighter as the auditor for the special education.
Ellen Fighter.
Oh, somebody's not muted.
Yeah.
Let's try that again.
Okay.
We lost some.
I don't know where that came from. We don't need to know.
Yeah, I don't know who that is or what it was, but that's nice. I'm proud, and as is the curriculum committee, to recommend the appointment of Ellen Fighter as the auditor for the special education audit. On 2 different occasions, the curriculum committee has discussed the details of the audit and has come forward with a recommendation to proceed with the audit, which we are anticipating will be finished somewhere between May 1st and May 15th. So, Mr. President, members of the school board, I am recommending approval of the proposal from Ms. Fighter to conduct the audit and to proceed.
Is there a motion with respect to the recommendation?
So moved.
I'll second. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Teresa. You can do whatever you want to do today. Teresa seconds that.
Is there any
Shall I
discussion?
sing my second? I second that motion. I'm going to do whatever I want tonight. So be it.
I would just point out that this proposal also includes a review of the gifted and talented program as well, that we're also approving, which is not obvious unless you're looking at the document. So.
I just want to say thanks to the curriculum committee and also to the administration for deciding to do this. I think that it's important to get many data points and have an independent look, at what works and what can be improved. So I think that this is something that we should have done a long time ago, and I'm really glad that we're doing it now. All right. Anyone else? Then I will, this time I'll go back to the roll call vote and ask all in favor. Molly Krychowiak,
Aye.
Danielle Bailey,
Aye.
Tamika Vukovic,
All right.
Teresa Seam,
Aye.
and Andrew Franklin votes aye. The motion carries. Terrific. Item 4C, approval of contract preliminary non-renewals for the 2021 to 2022 school year. Dr. Moser, would you like to lead?
Thank you, President Franklin and members of the school board. Tonight, under this item on the agenda, I am making a recommendation to the full board for the issuing of preliminary non-renewals for the 21-22 school year. This is a personnel recommendation that will lead to the issuance of preliminary non-renewal letters for the indicated coordinators and teachers under state statutes that must receive the the preliminary non-renewal letters prior to April 30th of 2021. So it is my recommendation, Mr. President, members of the school board, to make this personnel recommendation on the 9 names that were presented to the school board personnel committee for the receipt of the preliminary non-renewal letters. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. Is there a motion on the recommendation?
So moved, Teresa.
And is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so we need to discuss this to offer some clarity to the community about what we've done and about what the process has been. There's been a lot in the news about, in conversation, social media and whatnot, that suggest that Glendale-River Hills is planning to eliminate a choir program. Tonight is not about the choir program. One of the staff is a music person, and that recommendation is 0.5 time. It's not a performance-based recommendation. The recommendations here are budgetary exclusively. Now, I want to make sure that we're clear about that, because what that means is that we aren't saying anything, we're not indicating anything, we're not at this moment certainly planning on making any changes to our music program other than the possible elimination of a position within it. It's important to understand that we are really constrained in a lot of different ways by state statutes in terms of what allows us to shape both our staffing and in turn, in this case, our plans. So this is a preliminary notice of non-renewal. I think that it's pretty clear that anyone, by the way, who is non-renewed in a preliminary notice has right to hearing. But more importantly, before any non-renewal can become final, before May 15th of this year, the board has to issue and serve final notices of non-renewal. So there's a long, continuum between today and what may happen in the middle of May. But more importantly, this is not a decision today on the future or the modification of choir instruction within the classroom. And so I want to stress that. What will happen if there are changes that are proposed is that the changes that are proposed will be presented first to the curriculum committee and then to the board for review and approval. The timeline for doing something to a curriculum change is really, the end of the school year. So this is only about staffing. I'm sure that we're going to know more about how these things might be impacted in the next couple of weeks. But for today, the only thing that we are doing, and I want to make sure it's abundantly clear, the only thing that we're acting on is a preliminary notice of non-renewal, and it's being done at the request of the administration to allow it to evaluate its plans going forward. And, we all support music, we all support education in the arts in the school district. So I don't know what might be suggested or what might be acted on, but that is not what we're dealing with or addressing tonight. Dr. Moser, have I been pretty clear and accountable on that?
I want to try to draw that down to a succinct statement. This is a personnel recommendation. Clearly, you don't make programmatic recommendations on any changes, and not to focus on chorus, because that's any programmatic changes or additions or improvements will be coming in the spring. It has been my practice in 38 years as a superintendent of schools that you make changes before the school year is out. Certainly you make them before the end of this fiscal year. And this recommendation is being made at this particular time because of statutory requirements. And it is a personnel recommendation ranging from, and I think we need to make sure, I want to draw this to a succinct statement. Coordinator positions are being moved to teacher positions. There are some positions that are being looked at to be eliminated. We have some one-year contracts that were issued. So there are many reasons. So let's not focus on one topic. Let's focus on, this is a personnel issue. Thank you very much, Mr. President, members of the school board.
Thank you. And by the way, I mean, I think that, you know, with all the attention, we also have to stress that there's a lot of hard work being done. And I know that the administration, which has helped you to, you know, come up with these recommendations, has done a lot of work, and it's continuing. And in some extent, looking at these items has been overdue. So I appreciate the hard work that the school principals have also put into this.
Thank you, Mr. Franklin. I appreciate that.
Does anyone else have a comment or question? Okay, then.
Wait,
I'm-
Mr. Franklin,
ahead.
I do have a question. I'm sorry, Mr. President. I'm guessing
I'm sorry, there's no visitor participation at this time. I'm sorry, but you can add visitor participation at the end of the meeting.
Thank you.
But it was a question to board members.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. We'll definitely listen, you know, with visitor participation. Is there any other board member comments or question? Okay, seeing none, I'll do a roll call vote. All in favor, Molly Krychowiak?
She gave you a thumbs up.
I'll take that as, I can take that as an aye, just saw the thumb. All right, Danielle Bailey
Aye.
and Tamika Vukovic. I don't see or hear you. I don't know, you're on mute too. You want to give me a thumbs up? All right, Teresa Seam, I'll pass. Teresa Seam. I don't know what's going on with our microphones here. Everyone's on mute. Hold on a second. Hold on. Tamika, looks like you're trying to say something.
Have we muted her by mistake or?
There, Karen, somebody has muted everybody. There we go.
There we go. All right.
Try that vote again.
I'm going to do the vote again.
I like your gestures there. That was good.
But before you do the vote, I have a comment.
Yeah,
The
please.
reason we were all muted is because I would like to caution everyone on the Zoom call who is not a board member to make sure that you stay muted. When you inadvertently unmute yourself, it causes background like garble, which is distracting to us. And so then Karen defaults to muting us just so she mutes everyone. So if everyone could be really cognizant about making sure that you're muted through this, we would all really appreciate it.
And I think we still have Danielle on mute. So Karen
And Teresa's on mute as well.
and Teresa. Well, this is live theater.
The show must go on,
Show
Andy.
must go on. Danielle is still on mute.
There we go.
Okay, but still says mute. I know they saw the, oh, there we go. Danielle, let's try it. Are you there?
I'm here.
Perfect. All right. I appreciate your comment, Ms. Krychowiak. Thank you very much. I'm going to redo the vote now. Molly Krychowiak,
Aye.
Danielle Bailey.
Aye.
Okay, Tamika Vukovic,
Right.
Teresa Seam.
And I would ask Karen to forward the feedback link to Zoom to allow better muting and unmuting. Thank you.
And Andrew Franklin votes aye, and the motion carries. This is again only preliminary non-renewals based on personnel. Item number 4D is to recommend the approval of the appointment of a school business administrator for the Glendale-River Hills School District. Dr. Moser.
Well, thank you, President Franklin and members of the school board. First of all, let me point out that joining us tonight is Ms. Lindsay Johnson, who is the candidate to be the school district business administrator. And with the permission of President Franklin, after my introduction, I will be seeking from President Franklin permission to have Ms. Johnson address the school board and the audience this evening. So let me start. This is we've had a major event tonight, and that is the appointment of a superintendent of schools. This is a historic and important event. A second historic and important event is the appointment of the school district business administrator. And doing these on the same evening is significant and has meaning for the moving forward of the Glendale-River Hills School District. I am recommending the approval by the school board of hiring Ms. Lindsay Johnson as the school district business administrator for the Glendale-River Hills School District. I have spoken with Ms. Johnson the last 2 days. We've had conversations, including yesterday, where I did make a tentative offer pending school board approval of the position of a school district business administrator. And Ms. Johnson has accepted and agreed to the terms of her contract. This is a full-time administrative position. Ms. Johnson is a licensed school business administrator in the state of Wisconsin. She presently is working for the Kettle Moraine School District. She has participated in 2 interviews. I have been part of one. I chaired one of the interviews, and she was invited back for a second to meet with members of the business office staff who will be directly working with her. And I can say with great delight that the response of the both interview teams was, why do we have to wait? Can't we have her start right away? It was extreme enthusiasm for the opportunity to work with her. As I indicated before, Ms. Johnson has agreed to the terms of a 2-year contract in the position of school business administrator for the Glendale-River Hills School District. She is willing to assist the Glendale-River Hills School District on an as-needed basis during the transition time between Kettle Moraine and Glendale-River Hills. And this arrangement has been approved by the Kettle Moraine School District in my reference checking. I did do reference checking. I have spoken to individuals in the field of school of business administration. And not just myself, but the other 9 individuals who conducted interviews rate her at the very, very top. So, Mr. President and members of the school board, I am pleased to present to you Ms. Lindsay Johnson. And President Franklin, may I call upon Ms. Johnson to say a few words this evening?
Absolutely, you may.
Ms. Johnson, wherever you are, could you say a few words to the board and to many of your potential colleagues that are here on this Zoom meeting and members of the community? Ms. Johnson, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. I am incredibly excited for this opportunity. When I first heard about Glendale, I heard nothing but amazing things, which prompted me to proceed with it. And I was excited to see that everything lived up to its reputation. Everyone that I met was fantastic, so friendly, and I'm just excited to be a part of this district and move things forward. And I'm looking forward to Ms. Aish and I starting everything together and coming up with some great ideas. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I am incredibly grateful and I look forward to starting soon.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Is there, Dr. Moser first, is there anything else you want to add, or should I go for a motion?
Oh, thank you for allowing me to make that introduction, Mr. Franklin.
Okay, thank you. All right, then. Is there a motion with respect to the recommendation?
So moved, Teresa.
Is there a second?
Second, Danielle.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Seeing none, I am going to do a quick roll call vote. Molly Krychowiak,
Aye.
Danielle Bailey,
Aye.
Tamika Vukovic,
Aye.
Teresa Seem,
Aye.
and Andrew Franklin votes aye. The motion carries. Welcome, Ms. Johnson. We are thrilled to have you here.
Welcome, Lindsay.
Thank
Okay. Moving along, item number 4E, recommend the approval of appointing Ms. Hope David as short-term audit, grant, and journal entry consultant.
Thank you, President Franklin. And I want to join the board in saying what a great team you have now hired this evening to lead the school district. You have set a good course for the Glendale-River Hills School District. And in order to continue with that, I have an additional recommendation for you this evening. Dr. Gary Peterson, who is the interim school business administrator, and consultant Michael Weaver, have identified the need to prepare for the upcoming annual fiscal audit for the school district for the 2020-2021 school year. They recommended to me that we hire a temporary employee to prepare for the audit, which will begin in June. Based on this recommendation, I sought out an individual that I am very familiar with, who is a full-time business office employee, to assist with journal entries, grant administration, and preparing for the audit. I have discussed with Ms. Johnson, our new business administrator, this process. I am proposing that the school board would authorize the hiring of Ms. Hope David on a temporary basis to assist with this process. Ms. David is the executive assistant for payroll at the Holy Hills School District. She'll earn $50 an hour, report to Dr. Peterson, and work a few hours per week to be determined by Dr. Peterson. It is expected that a great deal of this work will be done remotely, and Ms. Johnson will be working with Ms. David and provide assistance to her in this period leading up to the audit that will begin in June, and then it will conclude in August when Ms. Johnson will be on site and on duty as our school business administrator. So I am recommending to the board the approval of hiring Ms. Hope David as the short-term audit, grant, and journal entry consultant.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
I'll second, Teresa.
Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll do a roll call vote. Molly Krychowiak,
Aye.
and Tamika Vukovic,
Aye.
and Danielle Bailey,
Aye.
Teresa Seem,
Aye.
Andrew Franklin votes aye. The motion carries. Terrific. All right, moving along. Item 4F, recommend approval of the 2022 to 2023 school year for the Glendale-River Hills School District.
Thank you, President Franklin, and members of the school board. As you know, the Glendale-River Hills School District and the other three partners in the Nicolay area have been working on calendars together, and we have approved of here in Glendale-River Hills of the 21-22 school year calendar. Even though the curriculum committee has been discussing an earlier start to that calendar, that action has not taken place. It's been a discussion by the curriculum committee, and we've had a good input on it, but we have not moved for any type of action at this particular time. But tonight we are recommending to the full board, based upon action by the curriculum committee, that the curriculum committee approve of the recommended 2022-2023 school year calendar. This calendar was developed by a committee chaired by Ms. Shannon Kilton, and it has had the input. It's gone through the administrative team for review, and we all 4 of the Nicolay area school districts have agreed that by the end of April, we will all attempt to have a 2022-2023 school year calendar in place. It isn't just one calendar. Our calendar is peculiar to Glendale-River Hills, but there's been cooperation between the 4 school districts whenever it's possible, so that, for example, our parents in Glendale, the Glendale-River Hills School District, who have kids at Nicolay, that it is a convenient calendar for their planning for vacations and other items of that nature. We do have some specific items dealing with professional development that relate to our school district, but there's been a good partnership that goes on among the 4 school districts. So the curriculum committee and I are recommending the full school board approval of the 2022-2023 school year calendar. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, is there a motion?
Moved.
I'll second, Teresa.
Okay, is there any discussion?
I just have a quick comment. As someone who for several years came from a family that had 5 members dispersed into 3 partner schools, I really appreciate the time that the superintendents take into making this possible. Also, as a teacher, it's so, and I can speak for my colleagues in Glendale-River Hills and the Nicolay area, that it's very important that we do get together every year. So I'm also appreciative that the superintendents make a concerted effort for all teachers in the partner schools to get together. And it's really nice for us to see each other in person, and I'm looking forward to getting back then. But I just want to say thank you for all the pains it takes to come up with this somewhat common calendar for all of us.
Okay. Then if there is no further discussion, I will do roll call vote. Molly Krychowiak,
Aye.
Danielle Bailey,
Aye.
Tamika Vukovic. Oh,
Aye.
Teresa Seam.
Aye.
Teresa? Uh-oh.
I said
Did I
aye,
freeze?
but you perhaps did not hear me.
Right.
Did you hear me?
My froze for a second.
Aye.
No, my computer froze there for a second there. It looks like I got a blip, and I'll vote aye.
Aye.
You're having fun today. Motion carries. Item 4G, approval of donations.
Thank you, President Franklin, members of the school board. The Glendale-River Hills School District can be proud that this item is on agenda on a regular basis. If you remember, and I know you do, that we celebrate donations on a fairly regular basis from members of the community or former students or families have had kids go through the school district. This is another opportunity for us to celebrate a donation of $500 from Mr. Eric Sams. This is a regular occurrence. It's to be used at Glen Hills. The mobile gas station in Glendale makes a regular donation for math and science. And we certainly appreciate that dedication to the school district, but I think it also speaks to the strength of our community here that we are comprised of individuals who make sacrifices and donations on behalf of others, meaning the children of our community, to improve their opportunities in life. So, Mr. President, I recommend approval of the donations, and I will indicate to the school board that we certainly will thank Mr. Sams for his generosity on behalf of the school board.
And I would also say thank you very much, Mr. Sams. It is wonderful. It is recognized, and it is helpful. So with that, I would ask for his motion.
So moved, Teresa.
And a second.
Second, Danielle.
And any further discussion? No.
Quick question. I thought there were 2 donations. One from Mr. Sams and another from Rutgers Company, mobile gas station. And
Yes.
Oh, I
did,
thought
did,
we were
did we hear about that one, or is it, am I misreading that? No?
Karen, do you want to correct me and help me with that?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you notice how she said that with enthusiasm? Where she didn't hesitate on that one at all, did she?
I would love to correct you, Dr. Moser. Yes, there is one $500 donation from Mr. Sams, who is also a substitute teacher at Glen Hills. And then the other donation is from a mobile gas station in Glendale. And every year they give a $500 donation to Parkway to use for math and science curriculum.
Ms. Seam, thank you for your catching that. Appreciate it.
Well, I will amend my motion then to include the $500 donation from Mr. Sams, as well as the $500 donation from Rutgers Company.
And whoever
I
seconded
will
that.
still second. I will second it again.
Perfect. Then is there any other discussion? The only thing I would add is thank you very much, Rutgers Company Mobile Gas. We deeply appreciate it, and we certainly want to make sure you're included in our gratitude. So with that, all in favor, Molly Krachowiak
Aye.
and Teresa Seam,
Aye.
and I'm sorry, Tamika Vukovic.
Aye.
I'm sorry, Danielle Bailey.
Aye.
Vander Franklin votes aye. At least I remember myself at the end. Motion carries. Thank you very much. We are on to item 5A, discussion on the literacy partnership. See, this is why we need it. Discussion on the literacy partnership with Concordia University, Wisconsin. Dr. Moser.
Thank you. And you said Concordia University, Wisconsin very nicely. That was
Thank
said
you.
with enthusiasm, and I appreciate that. That's good.
Favoritism there.
I want to emphasize that this topic has received a lot of attention from the school board curriculum committee. It's been a very enjoyable discussion on some planning that has been taking place, led by Ms. Westfall and others, other educators in the Glendale-River Hills School District, with representatives from Concordia University. And it's a partnership of this nature is a prime example of other institutions, other organizations within a community on how you can work together. Let me call upon Ms. Westfall to bring the full board up to date on this literacy partnership that the curriculum committee has been planning with Concordia University.
Thank you, Dr. Moser and board. Okay. So the Glendale-River Hills Concordia University partnership. So we'll dig into this work. So Dr. Moser challenged this group of collaborators to think outside the box to have some discussions around literacy and then how we could collaborate between our two partnerships. So for the Glendale-River Hills School District, we had Dr. Moser, Ms. Young, Dr. Smith, Ms. Umar, and myself involved. In Concordia University, we are very grateful to be working with Dr. Stephen Witt, Sarah Meyer, and Dr. Christine Scudella. So this team really started in February, having some discussions around the current state of literacy in the Glendale-River Hills School District, and then also kind of where we wanted to go in the future, and then what Concordia can bring to the table for us. How can we support each other moving forward in the future? So I'm going to have a little highlights of what we're working on right now. So the first topic that I'm thoroughly excited about, and a lot of this came from just myself and other principals having discussions with staff members. We have several staff members who have been interested in getting a reading license or being supported by the district in getting a reading license, wanting to work with students on reading and interventions. So I'm happy to say that we are working with Concordia on making that happen. We are working on a summer school intervention program. With that, the staff would have an opportunity to go through an accelerated reading program to receive their actually 1316 license. Dr. Stephen Witt, who is in charge of the graduate programming at Concordia University, will oversee part of this work. So there would be one class for 1 week that would cover an assessment class. And then there would be the practicum work that would happen during summer school, where teachers would take students for interventions, one-on-one tutoring and small group instruction. And that would suffice for their practicum, and they would receive credit for that as well. And why would we do this? Not only are we supporting our teachers, but we're also supporting the students in the district, right? Providing them with opportunities to accelerate that student learning. And this information will be shared with staff in our staff district newsletter tomorrow. So we do have a flyer here. I'm just going to make it bigger. I myself have a hard time reading that smaller stuff, but this is the flyer that all staff will receive tomorrow, talking about an opportunity for them to earn these graduate credits and work their way to a reading teacher license. One thing that the district is making sure that we're supporting our teachers is by doing a tuition reimbursement. So for the first 2 courses, there would be tuition reimbursement for staff members who are engaged in this process. So for the first 2 courses, then they would have the opportunity to finish 3 additional courses and would walk away with a license for teaching reading. And I'll be the contact for our district, and then we also have a Concordia contact as well. So this is what we're proposing to support our staff moving forward with literacy and supporting our students during that summer school programming as well. Another topic we discussed was community engagement. How do we engage the community in this partnership? And one thing we kind of discussed was other colleges have literacy centers connected to them. Cardinal Stritch has a literacy center connected to it. Marquette University has a literacy connected to it. We had the discussion around having Concordia support us with a literacy center, but we were really adamant about having the literacy center in our buildings. So our goal would be to have a literacy center in our buildings to help support tutoring and summer tutoring for students in the Glendale-River Hills School District during the school year and during the summer. So this could possibly look similar to the Hartman Literacy Center at Marquette University that supports students by providing free tutoring, and then also that summer tutoring as well. Concordia also is willing to help support us with family literacy nights as well, to help have discussions and have topic items for families of how to support students in literacy too. So this is something that is a little longer term planning that is going to take us about, the school year to plan for in order to roll something, this big out. So this is still in the planning process. The other thing we talked about as well is when we're thinking about continuous improvement and moving our district forward in literacy, we really need to look at the data, we need to analyze it, and then we need to plan based off of that data. So having Concordia University support our administrative team with a data dig in the beginning of August, and then coming back in August as well to work with our staff around analyzing the data around literacy will be a really important step for our continuous improvement process. So an administration and staff would then do some follow through throughout the school year with the support of Concordia to really monitor that our quick cycles of improvement, that we're making growth in those. And then finally, there are new ELA standards that have been put out by the state of Wisconsin. So that's something that we really want to dig into over the next year. So we want to, with collaboration with Concordia, create a year-long process for internalizing those standards, making sure that our teachers really know the grade level standards and also know the grade level below and the grade level above, to make sure that we're supporting students exactly where they're at. This procedure would also allow us to have, authentic application of the standards. So making sure that we're doing a little PD, then we're going back to our classrooms, trying some of it, and then coming back and have some discussion. So having this as a year-long process is going to be so helpful instead of a quick overview of the standards. The other thing that we're working on too is collaborating with all our partner districts. So I've been meeting with the directors at Fox Point Bayside, Mapledale, Indian Hill, and the Nicolay School District to also have Concordia partner with all of us during this process so that our first grade teachers can collaborate with first grade teachers in other partner districts. All the grade levels will be able to do that. And then we'll also have that vertical work as well. And then finally, something to mention too, is this is a curriculum cycle review year for ELA. So we will be going through a curriculum review process with all the partner districts as well. So that'll be very supportive for us going through these ELA standards, and we'll be able to build off of those as we go through that review cycle. And finally, I just wanted to take a quick moment to publicly thank Teresa Seam for your service. It's been an honor to work with you, so I just wanted to throw that in real quick. So does anybody have any questions at all?
No, I would just want to thank you, Jenica, for really getting all of this going. Dr. Moser definitely made it seem like this was, your baby, I guess, for lack of a better word, that you have really pushed and innovated around, and it sounds really amazing for our district. So thank you for that.
And I just want to add that I'm just very excited that our teachers get the opportunity to earn that extra license, because it's just going to help all of our students cross-curricularly. And I hope that a lot of people take advantage of that.
I think that the literacy programs, these partnerships that have been emerging are really good tools for schools. And I'm happy to see that we are a part of it. So thank you for your hard work. All right. Well, then, if there's no further discussion, we're going to move to visitor participation. And visitor participation, visitors may speak on any non-agenda item at this time or any item that we have already discussed. We're going to let you make your comments because I know that you came here to make those comments. But I'd ask you to leave your comments to a total of 3 minutes or less. State law and or board policy, may limit school board's response. If you can take a moment to raise your hand. While we do line up, I am actually going to ask that we call on Carla Pennington Cross first. I know that she has an update from the spring fling, and that her hand happens to be up first. So, Ms. Pennington Cross. And if you could, and I always need to say this, if you can state your name and your address before you start your comments. Thank you.
I will remember this time. Carla Pennington Cross, 909 West Acacia Road, Glendale, Wisconsin, 53217. And Mr. Franklin, thank you for reminding me to bring an update of Spring Fling here. FYI, I took the vaccine 2 days ago, my second shot, and it pounded me. So I've been a whiny baby. So if I don't make sense, I'm blaming that. We had our virtual Spring Fling for the Glendale-River Hills School District Foundation on April 9th. I considered it to be a great success. It wasn't a huge fundraiser. It wasn't our goal to make it a huge fundraiser. It was just our goal to kind of get together and celebrate our district, celebrate, you know, surviving, get some business to a local restaurant. And we did that. We sold out on our fish fries at the Bavarian Beer House, sold over 100 fish fries, made a little money. The Bavarian did a great job. There were a few delays, but everyone was classy, including the people who were waiting. So I really appreciated that. Marlon Hill, who is a district parent, he has a student at Glen Hills, did a fantastic job with an hour-long stand-up and storytelling. I don't even know how you do that from the basement of your house, but boy, did he remain engaging and just did a fantastic job. So he's a local stand-up and does a bunch of stuff around here. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, marlonhill.com. He's a really interesting fella. I want to give a special shout out to Sean McMahon for being our MC and making all the tech work, and to Mr. Birmingham, who as always came through. We were having some tech issues and he did the teacher thing, walked Sean through it and made it all work. We collected almost 100 pounds of food for our future food pantry work. And finally, a very, very huge round of applause for Jill Geller, who has 4 kids who've been virtual learning with her all year, but just did an incredible amount of work to make Spring Fling happen. I just stood back and watched her make it happen. So as always amazed by what our people can do. If I'm not talking for too long, I want to tell you what's next for the foundation. We have a website now that's minimal but live, grhfoundation.com. Most importantly, we have a donate button that works. Donate. You can donate a single sum, or you can make a monthly, you know, like $5 a month can make a huge difference. If 100 families do that, we can pump a ton of money into our schools and do a lot of amazing work. Our food pantry continues to be in development. As we know, our school district is facing a lot of change. I'm continuing to work with Denise Davis to see what we can do. So our current plan is to start with some pop-ups. We're working with Feeding America and planning some pop-up pantries through the summer to help sustain our community families. So keep your eyes open for news on that. I'm super, super excited. I'm hoping and anticipating that Ms. Aish will come to our first pop-up and join us and become part of our community as soon as possible, because we're here to give and live together. So we're trying to make that real. So welcome, Allison. You probably remember me, that crazy lady asking you questions. So happy to see you here, and I wish you the very best, and I will probably be bugging you very soon. And Teresa, I just want to add on, I've really enjoyed seeing you serve as our school board member, and I'm very sorry to see you leave, and very grateful for everything you've done for our community. And that's all.
Great.
Back to my nap.
Thank you. Ms. Zymans, you are next.
Hello, everyone. My name is Patty Zymans, and I live at 5819 North Argyle Avenue. And just a little bit of context, I do have a son who is in 7th grade at Glen Hills. Oh my gosh, almost an 8th grader. And I'm also a teacher at Nicolay. So I want to start by saying I have missed a few school board meetings, so I wish that I had said this sooner, but I need to say it in a public forum where there are, I'm hoping some teachers in the call and some administrators, and of course the school board members. And I just need to say a huge thank you to the faculty, staff, and administration of really both Parkway and Glen Hills. for everything you have done all year, really, but especially all that you've done during the transition period when you've transitioned students back to school. My son is still learning virtually, and I had the opportunity to stay home with him a few days when that transition was happening. So of course I got to see and hear some of his teachers in action. And I have to say how impressed I am and continue to be with their dedication to making sure that all students, whether in person or virtual, feel that they are part of the class, that they feel seen, that they feel heard, that they feel valued. I also want to say that anytime I've had any questions or concerns that I have emailed or brought to administrators or teachers or whomever, those questions and concerns have been addressed immediately, and I appreciate that. Personally, I have actually just started concurrent teaching at Nicolay, and I have to tell you, it is no joke. It is not for the faint of heart. And I know how challenging it is. And I just need the faculty and staff and administration to know how very much you are appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Okay,
Patty.
our next person is Gretchen Kroll. I hope I pronounced your name, your last name right.
Yes, you have. Thank you very much. Gretchen Kroll, 6030 North Sydney Place in Glendale, 53209. And I just want to thank you for allowing me this time to just make a comment and ask a few questions. I have a son in 8th grade and also a freshman at Nicolay. I want to comment in reference to agenda item 4C. It was mentioned that this preliminary non-renewal is strictly a personnel recommendation, not a programmatic recommendation. And I'm happy to hear that. I think that probably puts many of us at ease. However, my comment is that if you are choosing to non-renew somebody with a specialized license, a 1500, 1510, or 1511 DPI license, then you must already have somebody on staff, or you plan on hiring another person with one of those licenses. Because let's face it, without an educator with the appropriate license, you don't have a program. Like, it's as simple as that. You don't have a program. So I would encourage the board and leadership to consider that. Putting somebody in with a license based on stipulations, it would have to be for a music license, and that person would have to be in a music program, a teacher education program. The second thing that was mentioned was that the decision was driven exclusively by budget. And so my question about that is, do we know how much money the district is receiving for ESSER funding? And by ESSER funding, for those of you who might not know, ESSER funding is CARES Act money, CRRSA Act money, and ARP Act money. 3 federal allocations that are being given to all public schools. And so I guess my question is, why can't that money be used to fund a position? What is the plan to spend ESSER funds? One of the stipulations for ESSER is, or one of the ways it can be spent, is other activities that are necessary to maintain the operation of and continuity of services and LEAs, and continuing to employ existing staff of the local educational agency. So that's my question, is, can ESSER funding be used if there indeed is a budgetary issue? Why aren't we tapping into ESSER funding? If ESSER funding isn't the way to go, what's the Fund 10 balance, and why can't we use money from Fund 10 to get through difficult times, if indeed it is a budget issue? So I guess, at this point, the state is only at the joint finance stage in the state budget process. And so, why can't we advocate as a district for what is needed to continue to have opportunities for our kids? So those are my questions that I would kind of pose as challenges, and hope that the board and that school leadership and district leadership take that into account. And I thank you for letting me have the floor.
Thank you for your comment. Dr. Moser, I'll let you interject if now is a good time to do that, or if you wanted to reach out to Ms. Kroll or have her reach out to you offline.
I'd be happy to reach out to her and respond to those questions, certainly.
Okay, thank you. Then the next person on our list is Tristan, who I'd actually asked to hold off her comments until visitor participation. So if you could just provide your full name and address and your comment. Thank you for your patience as well.
Thank you. My address is 205 West Green Tree Road. And I actually.
And I'm sorry, what's your last name, ma'am?
Oh, Reek, Tristan Reek.
Okay, thank you.
I'd also like to state that I am the owner of Brassville Music Store, which is also located in Glendale and a supporter of the school district. I would like to just basically re-ask the same questions that Ms. Kroll just asked. And so either I would like that to be, I would like to be reached on that offline, but I also feel as though that there are a very large proportion of the people here today that would like these answers just the same as I am asking them. And so it is my opinion that the school board and Dr. Moser should share that information with the entire group of people here concerned about the choir program.
And I appreciate that. And I'm sure that we are going to work on a response as we get to that point. My understanding is that there is no, plan one way or the other at this moment. So I think that we owe it to the administration to both consider what it is that they're trying to do, but then also make sure that we communicate that and take it through the channels. We'll have a curriculum committee if there is any plan presented with respect to the program as a whole. And I'm sure that we'll have other information regarding the position itself as time progresses.
And how would I be contacted since you don't have my contact information?
Well, sure. Why don't you, I can certainly write that down. If you give me just one moment.
Actually, have her, I would suggest instead of saying her whole contact information over this, she can email Dr. Moser. The emails are public.
Or the rest of the board as well. It's
Right.
usually first name, Latin period, last name at glendale.k12.wi.
And then, so would you advise all of the folks that are attending this evening that would like this information to equally email him that question, these same questions?
Well, I mean, I certainly would always encourage people to participate and to ask any question that they have.
Thank you for that clarification.
President Franklin.
Yeah.
Say something. At this point, I think there's some clarity that needs to be had on this. The decisions have not been made. This is a staffing issue. It will go to the curriculum committee with any information that has to do with the course or curriculum. Because this is not on the agenda, it really can't be answered or broken in. So, you giving us your comments is great. So we'll at least know this will be on a future agenda item. This will be a future agenda item, whether it will go to curriculum and then it'll go into, sorry, see, it's telling me to shut up. The board. So I respect everybody who is speaking. We are just taking your information in right now because of the visitor participation, and these answers, we don't have these answers yet because they haven't even been brought up, so we can't answer them right now. I think that is just like a simple gist of it. We're not trying to advert you or push you off. We haven't discussed it as a board yet. They haven't discussed anything in curriculum yet, so therefore that is why we're not answering, because we haven't discussed it. We don't even know what his plan is yet, or the recommendation of the school.
Thank you, Ms. Reek. And then I will move on to the next person, which is Lisa Orvis.
Hi there, Lisa Orvis, 1000 West Eula Court in Glendale. And I'd just like to also comment on the music program and choir. Our kids, we have had 4 of them go through the Glendale School District, and every single one of them participated in the music programs, and our 2 youngest participated in choir. And it just developed a tremendous foundation for the love of music. And right now we have a senior at Nicolay who's taking guitar. And because she was in choir at Glen Hills, that's just made her experience at Nicolay so much more enriching and enjoyable. So I just want to let you know that we really appreciate having that foundation, and it's very, very important to continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Orvis. Okay, the next person is Jeff Hauk.
Hi, Jeff Hauk, 7265 North Wayside Court, Glendale, Wisconsin, 53209. New administrators, welcome. I am also going to comment on the choir program's future, whatever that may be, and I have the full faith in the board that you guys will come to whatever resolve solution is best for our students. Per my rough data gathering, in grades 6 through 8, there's approximately 100 students in choir. So roughly there's 100 kids a class. I know they ebb and flow a little bit, but that's 33% of our students in just 6 through 8. So I'm going to implore the board to please keep a separate vocal choir component class, not intertwined with something else. If not, like I'm reading minds as to what possibly could happen, and I understand you can't comment on that. And I do believe, even per DPI statute, there does need to be, for at least grades 7 and 8, I think it's 8.012J paragraph 4 or something like that. I'm not a lawyer.
Off the top of your head.
Yeah, I happen to just look it up. But anyways, that a specific vocal class component does have to at least exist for classes for grades 7 and 8. I would hate to see the district only offer it for grades 7 and 8. I do believe even choir was previously cut from grades 4 and 5 last year. Don't quote me on that one. That one's just something I had heard. So I'm going to implore the district, whatever, I understand personnel is a personnel issue, but whatever curricular issues arise, I'm going to implore the district to please keep a separate vocal choir class to address 33% of your 6th through 8th graders. Because I think that's a highly served program. And considering the fact all of the other surrounding districts in the North Shore do offer a middle school component, it's going to become an equity issue for these kids that want to do choir when they get to high school, because they might not have that training opportunity to begin, and they could be without a continued separate vocal choir component at a disadvantage when they get to high school. So thank you for listening, and I trust that you guys will do a great job.
Mr. President, can I address Mr. Hauk?
Absolutely.
Hello, Dr. Moser.
This one, thank you, Jeff, for your comments, and I appreciate you making the strong differentiation between personnel recommendations and program. And I caution everybody, be careful that you don't believe everything you read on Facebook. I don't want to tell Mr. Hauk what I've heard about Nicolay's plans in the science department at Nicolay as a rumor, but I won't go into that. And I don't believe everything that I hear.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
With a smile to Mr. Hauk.
Fair enough.
He understands me, and
yes, I do. So I appreciate you guys listening. Welcome to the new administrators, and I'm hopeful and confident that you guys will continue a very strong program that already exists. So thank you for your time.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, Amanda Goss.
Thank you, Amanda Goss, 1100 West Silver Spring Drive, Glendale, Wisconsin, 53209. I just want to echo the same sentiments as Mr. Hauk. Like, I strongly believe there needs to be a separate choir program. I'm curious if it's been discussed among the interim superintendent, administrators, or the teachers to possibly eliminate the choir program. If that has been discussed as a possibility, I sure hope that it will include parental input. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Goss. Our next person is Robert Conwell.
Hey, Robert Cronwell, 7530 North Applewood Lane. I was wondering what happened to the closed session that was scheduled to start at 6 o'clock and didn't seem to happen.
It didn't happen.
Okay. And I would suggest in the future, I know this agenda went up by the skin of its teeth before the 24-hour notice deadline. And if in the future you could try posting them a little bit earlier. I mean, this meeting was scheduled for ages, and the notice didn't get posted until the last second, which can create some problems sometimes. I was also wondering, is the notice still being physically posted on the bulletin board at Glen Hills? Because I didn't see it there.
Well, my answer is it should be. That's what our understanding is. And for posting it close to 24 hours, obviously, sometimes things happen that delay posting. And as a result, we ended up evaluating whether or not we needed our executive session. But we can certainly look into that. Dr. Moser, I think that we can pass that on to you to check in and follow up later, or if you want to say something now.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Franklin, and thank you on that. And in response to Mr. Cronwell's comment about the executive session, the simplest way of phrasing it is that the school board believes that as much should be done in the open in the community as possible. And I think the school board should be commended that they eliminated executive session tonight. They felt that anything that had to be said could be said in the public for the constituents to hear. And I think that's good for opening and clean government. And the board should be commended for that.
Okay. Thank you. Then Tracy Stetler.
Good evening, board, and welcome, Miss Aish. I'm Tracy Stetler, 5367 North Edgewater Lane. I have a first grader, a third grader, an eighth grader, a 10th grader, and a 12th grader. So I span the board. And I feel like the subject of choir, of course, has been addressed greatly. And so I'm going to let that lie, but I'll be at that committee meeting. What I would like to speak about tonight is the fact that we had 41 candidates for superintendent. And not only did we pick the very best one, but we had 41 candidates because our district is so desirable. And I think that it makes a lot of sense at this specific stage of this kind of evolution and the contract renewals and all of the great many changes that are going on, that we really make some intentional and thoughtful changes so that the teachers, both current and potential future hires, really, we are just as desirable to them as well. And so I think that there are ways to do that so that we don't have to even consider losing choir or losing some of the huge advantages that we have as a school district. I'd also like to commend Mr. Moser for all of his hard work and diligence to each one of these topics, and also the board for being so very open and willing to answer any and all questions. Today must have been crazy with the choir thing, and I appreciate all of the hard work and diligence and transparency that you guys are engaging with all of us at. I do think it's really important that we now turn to our staff and we really make a huge commitment to them so that we are just as desirable, and we have so many applications to go through that it's our new big job. so that we might staff fill these holes that are here and upcoming with the very best people. I have one last statement, and it's just a positive one about Miss Moley, which you guys is the new substitute first grade teacher, and you guys just approved her hire today. And I just wanted to say, this woman is no joke. She walked right into this job with 1 day of training, like she's been here all along. She is really a brilliant teacher, and I just wanted you guys to know, I know that was probably kind of a hairy moment there because we had a baby come early, but I just wanted to let you know that she just is so impressive, and I just really, it was a great choice. So good job, Dr. Smith and Mrs. Umer.
Thank you very much. Our next person is, it doesn't look like Chloe, but Chloe Orvis.
Well, I'm representing Chloe today. I'm talking about the choir, and I understand it might just be a rumor and we don't know anything about it, but I wanted to say something that a few years ago, Nicolay High School received international acclaim, not local, regional, United States, international acclaim for musical theater. And when Justin Hurwitz accepted just one of his Academy Awards, he spoke glowingly about how important it was for a public school to still care about the music and the arts. And I'm hoping we still do care about music and the arts. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have one more on our list, it looks like. Anne's iPad. Ms. iPad?
That's Dr. Weber, actually, but thank you. Ann Weber, 2250 West Kenborn Drive. I'm like to talk tonight just briefly about congratulating first our new superintendent and business administrator, and second, just some areas I have some confusion as far as, and I guess just to lay it out there, since we have a new superintendent and we talked about strategic planning and vision, tonight they also, Ms. Westfall brought up about literacy programs, and this has been kind of an area of confusion for me, that we have not had a dedicated librarian at Glen Hills for 3 years at my latest count. And I'm really concerned, and that seems to be a confounding thing as far as if we're making this commitment to literacy and having teachers do that, that we actually have had a dedicated teacher who has teaching licenses acting in a librarian space. And they've been doing a fantastic job, but they're not librarians. And I just don't understand that disconnect, especially when our partner schools have, I believe, 2 librarians each at their school, maintaining their collections and, you know, providing that service to the kids. Additionally, there's been, now it seems, whatever this issue is with teachers that are on these non-renewable contracts and monetary issues, over the last several board meetings, there's been a lot of discussion about hiring various part-time or temporary personnel to help for the audits and different things that are coming up. And there hasn't seemed to be any limit on the money that we're willing to spend for that. But when it comes to teachers and staff that would directly impact the students, and some of our greatest programs that we have, you know, then we start having a shortage in funds. And I guess, again, that's concerning to me, because I feel that for a 2-district school, we're particularly top heavy in administration. And while a superintendent and the business administrator are essential, and I know our curriculum person, and I don't know the exact structure offhand here, I would, as a parent with children in the school, like to see my children of, you know, and their experiences put first on that list. And if we're looking for areas to make cuts, to be more fiscally prudent when it comes to expenditures in that regard versus in their classroom experiences. So anyhow, that was what I wanted to put out there. And I'm very excited also about the school board's pick for our superintendent. And I only see great things on the horizon. And again, I'd like to see more fiscal prudence as far as our administration and some of those endeavors, and less restrictions when it comes to teachers and staff in areas that impact our students more directly. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Weber, I appreciate it. I just want to say very briefly, your sentiments are taken heart by the administration, by the board, and we've been working on that really in this year, which has been in many ways a transformative year for us to try to establish priorities and take a hard look. And so I want you to at least rest somewhat assured that this has been part of the process that we've been engaging in over the course of this year. And we've had a renewed focus on all aspects of funding. So I appreciate it. And it's a continuing thing. We're growing and we're learning as we go. But it's a process.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And then our last hand up is Peggy Rodriguez.
Hi, sorry.
Hi.
Didn't know you were calling. I wish the chat feature was on because I was just going to talk. Right. I just want to welcome you as a staff member. I just want to welcome you, Ms. Aish. I was on the interview committee and you were so far above, I can't even tell you. And I am so happy to have you as a superintendent. And I know almost actually everybody I talked to was voting for you, rooting for you. So I just want to welcome you to Glendale. It's a great district. You're going to love it. And I look forward to working with you. I just wanted to say that because I don't know when I'll see you again in person. So welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you to the board too. Wonderful.
Thank you. Is there any visitor participation left, from any board member? Hint, hint.
I have a comment as a community member and a board member. And I want to thank Teresa for all of your service, and I am surely going to be missing you and your zen and all of the knowledge that you have of being a board member for, I would just say, for your experience. And I am very happy for you, and I wish you nothing but the best, and I know we'll still cross paths.
Anyone else? Because I'm going to interject. Go ahead, Tamika.
President Franklin, thank you. Ms. Seams, when Brian Kennedy talked me into running, I was a little bit nervous because I had no educational experience. I just had a kid in the district. And I remember you and Jean actually sitting down, taking me to lunch and having a conversation with me about what it was to be on the board. What were my goals? What did I want to accomplish? And you have helped guide this board tremendously with your knowledge of being fair, impartial. We have agreed sometimes, we have disagreed sometimes, but the one great thing about this board, and you never let us be petty. You never let us take it personally. And and I have to say Andy too, but you as well, is because you are the leaders of this whole thing. Our board is relatively young, and I think I'm like going into my 6th year. Danielle's into her first year. Molly's in her 2nd year. We're young, and we really needed your guidance to help us through this, and just be sometimes the calm when the storm hit. And we would come back and say, you know what Dad did to us? We were like the ones that we were telling on other people, you know what they did to me. I feel like you were definitely I hate that you're leaving. I'm glad Ben's coming along, because it will be, just a new experience. But please know you will be missed. You are loved by me, especially in this board. And I just hope you're able to understand that we truly, truly value everything and all the years you have given to Glendale-River Hills. I know this wasn't an easy decision for you whatsoever. I know you went back and forth, but you are truly loved by our district. And I'm just glad that you will still be guiding our kids over at Nicolay. So we are not losing you completely, but you will be guiding our kids over at Nicolay. So I appreciate all the service you have done for us in guiding us to the best possible Glendale we have as of today.
I'll say something briefly, and I can't top that, but I echo everyone's sentiments, Teresa. I'm super sad you're leaving. This year that I have been able to watch your leadership and learn from your experience has been like, I mean, it's been amazing. And yeah, I've really appreciated that. I'm selfishly sad to lose out on that, but I know you're around and I know that we can reach out. And I'm just so appreciative for just having been able to learn from you this year, and to hopefully carry on your legacy of being, very thorough and looking into things from all sides and considering all perspectives, and just I don't know, being an extremely amazing leader for this board. So thank you.
And I'm just going to close it out, and I suppose it's appropriate because I've been here almost as long as you. And losing you, Teresa, it's a gut punch. I want you to know that in no uncertain terms, I professionally couldn't have gotten through all that we did this year, all that we had to do without you. To call, to vent, to get advice from. This year worked because of you. Now, we had a great team, don't get me wrong, but we had a lot of challenges. This has been a tough year for our district, related to COVID. The truth of the matter is that you were there, for the board. You're there for me, but you were there for the board. You're there for the district, and you will always really be the first person that I think of to call, to get advice, to get an analytical point of view on on dollars and whatnot, which was always your forte and always will be your forte. But really, what I put in this year, and it wouldn't have worked if you weren't a part of this. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the kind words. That's lovely. I just want to say to Ben, you have very average shoes to fill. And I say that because there were many, many, many more people before me who I had to live up to in contributing to this school district. And there'll be many, many more people after me that you will have to live up to, Ben. The work I've put in, the blood, sweat, and tears I contributed to the district, as I said, we're pretty average. Many wonderful people on the board before me, on the foundation before me. Love this district. Love the beautiful people that produced or that we helped through this district in the form of our children. As I think I indicated previously in a prior board meeting, our kids' social and emotional IQ coming out of the Glendale-River Hills School District are off the charts. Many, many people tend to overemphasize academics as far as I'm concerned, and that's there at the Glendale-River Hills School District. But the social and emotional learning that Annika and Peter have demonstrated throughout the years makes my heart burst and many, many times. And I hope every parent in the district can experience what I've experienced with my kids and their ability to see everyone, accept everyone, and spread that among their friends, among their college roommates, everybody they meet. As Andy indicated, I'm continuing to represent the Glendale-River Hills School District and the Nicolay School Board. So in the words of the Spinners, I'll be around. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, well, I think that's a good note to wrap up our meeting on. I want to thank everyone for attending tonight and for participating, being part of the meeting, and to look forward as we move forth beyond this year.
One last thing, President.
Sure.
Building and Grounds meeting is tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Please come and hang out. Look, people are excited about the buildings and grounds. I just wanted to make Teresa laugh one more time. She may not get to hear my buildings and ground push. 5 o'clock tomorrow.
I may actually attend.
Yay! You're still on the board technically until then.
This is true. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
I'll just very loosely goose. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Teresa.
Is there a second?
You don't need a second on that. Let's just leave it at that.
Yep.
Okay. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Stay safe, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye, Teresa. I so love her.